It was a rainy afternoon. My husband, Amit, hurried out the door and said that there was an emergency crisis at work. A last-minute meeting. I barely gave him a kiss to say goodbye, and as his car was moving away, I watched the rain falling from the window. There was a restlessness in me that I could not explain why. Maybe because of Amit's busy work pace recently. It was the loneliness I felt at home. After about an hour, my phone rang. The call was Amit. The rain was very bad. I called Murad to our house. He was caught on the trip and soaked. I had time with him until he was done. Murad was Amit's best friend. They were friends since university. Murad often came to our house, sometimes talked to Amit for hours, played games or reminisced about his old memories. But being alone with him when Amit was not there, of course it never happened, I said. I tell him to come with a hesitation in my voice. An hour later, the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, Murad was in front of me, drenched in the rain. His coat was covered with drops. His black hair was stuck on his forehead. I said thank you for coming, while handing him a towel. Amit may be late, but come in. Warm up, Murad said with a deep sigh. Thank you. I was stuck in the rain. He filled the silence of the house with his strong voice. I made a cup of coffee for both of us, and we sat in the kitchen. I had never been alone with Murad for this long before. He always spent time with Amit, but that day his eyes were more intense. Amit is a lucky man. He suddenly broke the silence and said, "It is not for everyone to have such a wife." I tried to smile a little, but the tone in his words made me uneasy. I said Amit is lucky. I said a person like you. Because he was his friend, Murad's eyes were on me for a moment more, as if there was something else he wanted to say. But he kept silent. Instead, he took another sip of coffee. Just at this time, the doorbell rang again. This time, Amit came in, taking off his coat soaked in the rain. It came earlier than I expected. Murad said welcome, Amit laughing. I hope the rain didn't ruin you too much. It's not bad. Murad, your house was already a savior. Amit looked at me for a moment and winked. Tonight I planned a, he said there is something. It may be a little unusual, but it was just in time for Murad to be here. I raised my eyebrows. I said, what kind of thing? Amit sat on the couch and started talking seriously. Lately, something seems to be missing between us. Maybe we should add excitement. His eyes turned to Murad and then to me. I want to try something. It's an experience that we are all in, but it's up to you to accept it. I'm shocked that Amit was so outspoken. It wasn't something I expected. Murad is sitting quietly too. He was weighing Amit's words. Amit, I said, what do you mean? Amit laughed a little, but there was seriousness in this smile. Something that would bring us closer. If Murad accepts, we can spend the night together. There was an intense silence in the air. Murad's eyes turned to me. There was a mixture in his gaze. Surprise, curiosity, and a secret desire. 1,001 thoughts were spinning in my head. Was this acceptable? Did Amit really want this? And did I really want to do this? I felt that Amit was holding my hand. You don't have to, but trying this can strengthen the bond between us. Finally, I took a breath. I said, okay. My voice was low but determined. Murad stopped for a moment then, smiled slightly. If this is really something you all want, I am here. It started that night. Everyone was a little nervous at first, but with Amit's direction, things started to warm up slowly. Amit was controlling every step gently to make sure that none of us felt uncomfortable. He was in constant communication. Murad's touch seemed strange at first, but over time it all turned into a natural flow, being next to Amit. All this, it made the situation feel less strange. Emotions intensified as the night progressed. Each moment turned into an unforgettable experience. The presence of Murad, the relationship between us and Amit gained a new dimension. That night, there was not only a physical connection, but also an emotional rapprochement. We were all exhausted, but so peaceful in the morning. Amit said with a smile, "Mura, thank you for giving me this trust. This experience completely changed our lives." Our relationship with Amit deepened. Mura, now he was not only a friend, he was also a friend. I didn't know what was going to happen in the future. But that night, he made us see things from a different perspective. The first light of the morning brought a peaceful silence to the house. We were all sitting quietly at the breakfast table. The weight of what happened at night was still on us. Amit looked into my eyes, grabbed my hands, and spoke softly. "I will never forget this night, but I know that it may not mean the same for everyone. Yet I understood that this experience was not suitable for every relationship, and how great the risks could be. It was a trial, a positive result for us, but it may not have turned out the same for everyone's story. We had a secret of our own, but with the consciousness of carrying the weight of this secret, we continued to live. Everything in our lives returned to normal again. But tonight, it took its place as a memory that will always remain in our memory.